What's up, guys? It's Charles here with Rocket Punch Army. I got this in yesterday. It was supposed to be delivered on my birthday, which is the 30th of September, which is tomorrow. So I don't know when this video is going to be up. But yeah, I got it yesterday, and I was so excited. And I just only opened it today. I got the collector packaging, so it's got the plastic over it, and it came in a nice, like, custom-made box that they made to fit this thing. And even though it's meant to, you know, collect and put away for you guys that do that, I just buy it just so I can have a nice little handy box, whatever. Anyway, this came from BBTS, and it's the MP-44 Transformers Masterpiece Cybertron Commander, otherwise known as Optimus Prime. And as you can see, it is authentic Takara Tomy product as sold in Japan, but sold to me here in the US through good old BBTS. And it's got batteries. Oh, I'm out of camera here. It's got batteries. Oh, they're required, not included, of course. All right, anyway, super excited. I didn't expect the box to be, you know, black and white. I have not really looked at any reviews or anything like that, so I have no clue what's going on. And as always, they put the little warning sticker there, so kids don't like inhale plastic by mistake or on purpose. But yeah, super excited. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I don't know if this review is going to be like a full one or a two-piece. I have no clue. I did not plan for this. So let's just see what happens. I love the way they do the plastic on this. Look, it's like perfectly even on both sides. Like, who knows how many collective packaging things they're going to do in a day, but they still take the time to do it really nicely, which I appreciate. And which I'm, by the way, is just going to open up anyway. But as you can see, the amount of detail they put into their collective packaging. Alright, this is kind of like the best I could do with getting the whole box in here, because like my camera, you can't have it like any closer than 10 feet from whatever you're filming. But yeah, so apparently, yeah, I guess I did see the box. I just forgot. But I did notice the outer box has the Hasbro logo, so I think that's for, I'm going to assume, I don't know, but that's per, you know, for being sold outside of Japan, so just, you know, it's Japanese. But anyway, see the front of the box here. It's got the typical Masterpiece thing going on with the picture of the alternate mode and the robot mode. I noticed the robot mode looks kind of crappy, like really close. Like, you'll know what I mean if you have one. But it looks really grainy, so it's probably a prototype, obviously. They took the pictures ahead of time. But yeah, nice box, nothing, you know, to write home about. Then of course you got the back, and they're continuing the tradition with the, you know, that they did with the MP10, with having the actual size thing there, and then a couple of, or two couples of screenshots of things from G1. I guess they're showing off like some of the parts or whatever, I don't know, that it comes with. And here's the inner tray. It is jam-packed with a bunch of stuff. You got some alternate heads. Looks awesome already. You got the regular head, you got the damaged head, you got the Starscream head, you got obviously Optimus Prime himself and the trailer, you got Roller, then you got this, I forgot the name, but it's like a weapons arm thing. Then you got the rocket backpack, you got the Energon axe, you got a bunch of things here, the blaster. Then of course he does come with three figures. You got a spark plug, you got Spike, and even though it's not listed where I've seen the item description, it does have Carly. And of course you get the instructions. It's a little thick, so maybe there's a lot of artwork in there, or it's just a very complicated transformation. You get some prototype gray prototype photos in the back here. You also get the tech card here, and I guess I don't know, I guess something here, whatever. We're going to take a look at that, but let's get into the tray and check all this out. It looks like it's going to be a tiring review. But yeah, let's check it out. And you know I was going to compare these two guys together. I got them here both with the trailers. We have the MP10 on the left, and we have the MP-44, which, by the way, if you weren't already aware, like I said before, I got this right before my birthday, my 44th birthday, so it kind of matches. I am MP-44 years old. Just get that out of the way. Anyway, and I'm still playing with freaking Transformers. Can you believe that? Anyway, we got them here side by side. First thing that strikes me is the amount of detail that MP10 has in vehicle form. I never keep them in vehicle form. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing for me here, so I can do the review. but there's everything. You get. I mean, the rivets carry on over to this, but there's a lot of details like in the trailer that don't really carry on to the other one. I kind of understand it, kind of trying to keep it cartoony without looking overly cartoony. But they're overall pretty much the same size. I think this is taller in the red area, but it's kind of lower on the ground, so it probably would be the same, you know. Yeah, it's kind of the same. Yeah, I mean, it just looks a little smaller because it's lower. But I did notice, I don't know if it's because they're painting these now, but the red is painted. I see a lot more like tooling marks, which is kind of strange. It kind of makes it look cheap and prototypey. So basically what I mean by that is like when they make tooling for the molds, someone has to clean up the inside of the mold because you get CNC machined or whatever, or they use some kind of casting. But someone has to go in and polish it to make it smooth, which is very evident by the other high-end collectibles that I have. For example, Bandai's Soul of Chogoki. I have this guy here without a head or anything, but what they do, and he's very dusty, but you know, you won't see tooling marks on these toys. I don't think I've ever seen tooling marks on this, because obviously they're expensive. They spend a lot more time with the tooling things, but so is this guy. This guy's more expensive than a Soul of Chogoki, and he costs as much as basically a DX Mazinger, which is, you know, the top of the line thing. But I see a lot of tooling marks, so I wanted to get that out of the way. Not that it really feels cheaper, just I don't like tooling marks. I want to see if I can show you guys what I mean by tooling marks, but can we get reflections? That's what I'm trying to say. But there's like a lot of lines going across. I don't know if they're brushing the paint on and then, you know, polishing it. Sometimes that's the way it's painted. I'm assuming it's sprayed on, but you can see it's not very smooth. And I was kind of like commenting on the cover of the box how it looked like a prototype, and so does the actual original toy. You can't really see tooling marks. I guess it's got some, but they're not like as bad. We take a look at them from the top. You can see it's a little cleaner. There's a lot of stuff going on here. It's very untruck-like. You can see some, I don't know what those are. I guess the chrome tanks on the side. I really have no clue. Speaking of the tanks are nice and big on this one. They're kind of just flat pieces here on the side. Actually, now that we're looking at the bottom, it's not as clean on the new one. And I'm going to have to say that the new one's probably a lot more complicated to transform, which we'll find out in a second. I have not done that yet. But anyway, let's move on to the trailers. So from the front, this is what the trailers look like. Looks like it's got some kind of hinging mechanism here. We'll find out what that's for later on. When you swing these out on the MP10, these feet do come down as they do in the new one. You'll see they just come right down. It's kind of hard to see, but they do come down to hold it up. Underneath, a lot of detail on this one. You got a spare tire there. You also have a spare tire in this. It kind of looks a little weird towards the back, but you know, and again, this isn't that much better. But I don't know. I don't know which one I like better. They're both good. Here you can see the similarities and differences between the two. There's still all bunch of Cybertronic things going on in there, except they're not as in-depth on the new one as they are in that one, but you can see it's got everything up here. One cool thing that I like about this is that this is removable. This whole area here with the arm and the grappling hook and all that, just like this one, except that this one does not come off. This one does come off. I'll show you here. And if you fold this up, it becomes its own little vehicle. Oops. Just like that, and you can obviously fit the figures in here. So that's a really cool little neat design and touch there. And it does extend even further, just like the other one, except, yeah, you got a nice rolling little thing. As far as how many cars I can use, I can make this review 3-4 hours long if you want, but I really see no difference in the amount of space. I saw pictures. It still fits the Autobots in the trailer. I don't want to stick too much to the trailer part, but we'll show you Roller and a couple of accessories, and we'll get on to the freaking robots. Here we got Roller, or Rover as they say in Japan, I believe. Nice little vehicle. You got a spark plug and spike up front, and you got Carly in the back. Carly was a nice surprise because on the listing of this figure, it does not state that it comes with Carly. As far as I'm concerned, when I checked, it didn't say that, but she's included, which is awesome. And the roller is kind of nice. It's got this little feature here. I guess it's to connect you know, the connection feature here, and then of course you got the little engine bay thing. And Carly's moving around. As far as the figure, whoa, what the hell just happened? What is this? Oh, it's got magnets. That's right. It's got magnets. I was like, how the hell is that stuck to? Well, anyway, as you can see, that's one of my complaints I was going to say. Is that the legs pop off really easily, especially the first time you're moving them around, because the pants, for some reason, the paint they use sticks to each other. I felt like I was going to break those little tiny ball joints. But yeah, that's another feature. It's got magnetic feet like the old Diaclone figures, little Micromans or whatever. Microman, I don't know, whatever. It's got metal on there, which is kind of cool, so you can get them to stand up. But yeah, tiny little ball joints if you're messing around with them. I did say they don't have faces. See, there we go. They can't. Oh, jeez, now he exploded on the floor. They do have faces. I think like they're just not painted on. There's details. I think a little wash would have gone really far in getting them a little bit more detail. Then you got this thing here, the little fuel thing, which is a nice little added accessory. But this is stuff, literally, it's going to stay in the tray. I think all the extra stuff that we probably won't be using is like a good more than $100 worth of stuff. You know, on top of the, you know, price that it should be. Hopefully they release Optimus on his own. And if they don't release him on his own, I'm sure the KO companies will. Of course, and they'll probably do some updates like paint little things here, but we're not going to discuss the KOs. We'll worry about that till later, and hopefully a certain company out there will send me one, hopefully, for me to review. And yeah, I think what we're going to do now is get into robot mode. I'm kind of not looking forward to transforming this. I kind of am looking for the end result. If you guys are wondering what this plastic stuff is here, I guess it's for shipping to keep parts from scratching. So I'm assuming there's going to be some scratching going on. By the way, there's a piece of blue paint right there that I cannot get off. So it's just sloppiness from the factory. I don't know. We'll see what the end result is. I'm sure I'll be happy, but, you know, figure I'd point that out. All right, guys. So since we're going to be looking at the instructions for me to be able to transform this, here's the spec card. Convoy version 3.0. Now, the back, he's almost all 10s except for this and that, which I don't know what that means, but everything else is 10s. All right, and then we got some warnings here in English, which is kind of cool. It even has a FCC statement, so it does tell you how to, you know, put the batteries in and out. I like how they're kind of making this for all the markets, I guess, because even the Hasbro logo's on here, and I believe that's because he does have that feature. He does have both voices. I might be wrong. We'll find out. But obviously one side's Hasbro, the other one's Takara for Japan. The booklet, it's, oh my god, it's thick. Do I really want to do this? Wow, there's so many things. Well, it's not too bad. I think, yeah, the transformation is only a few pages. And then the rest is just showing the features. So let's see how this is. Alright, kind of got tired of doing that. I spent the last 45 minutes doing that for you guys. At least 45 minutes. So let me just clean up here. You know, I got a life. I got a daughter. I got friends. And various girlfriends and mistresses and things like that. So I need time to make it for everybody. But anyway, we're going to close this up. You can see how I'm finishing up. It's kind of cool. This folds out. Goes back there. Then you turn this. Put that little flap back there. I'm sorry about the darkness. I don't have proper lighting here. And the finishing touch, pulling off that piece of plastic over his head. And this is literally the first time I'm seeing him like this in robot mode in front of me. Let me just clean up a tad over here. I gotta say he's gorgeous, by the way. I will say that the transformation, not fun. not fun. Not something I am willing to do again unless I'm absolutely crazy. Which, I don't know, I kind of like the MP-10, the way it transforms, but of course, you know, the MP-10 doesn't look as good as this one now that we're comparing. I'm going to put the other one back into robot mode. It should only take me about 2 minutes because it's not as complicated. This, I gotta say, guys, was a little too much going on. Way too many things folding really far away. I'm not used to that. I'm used to everything being compact. But I don't know, the end result I'm very happy with. I like that he has white instead of silver, which is very anime or cartoon correct. The back looks pretty good too. It's got the screw holes. It does look like it would be a proper Chogokin. I wish this was die cast. Can you imagine that? If these legs were die cast or something. The screws give it the very die cast look. You can see there's a lot of stuff going on. This is not a simple figure. I don't have the other third parties to compare it to. I don't know. Those look really good. I don't know if you know, this is any better or anything. I don't have that. Again, if you guys want to contribute to other reviews, I got a Patreon. You can set up for as little as $1. So I can do those type of comparisons. But a lot of my budget went into this. Pretty much all of it. We got Voltron coming out soon, so that was kind of difficult for me to get this one. But I got it. I'm kind of happy. Let me compare it with the MP-10. You know what, guys? I always thought the MP-10 was like... I mean, it is. It is a good looking figure, but I always thought it was like the Optimus Prime, and I knew it had the gorilla arms and all that stuff. And, you know, I always figured they could do better. And then the third parties came out, and the third parties looked good. But Takara really, and I have his hands backwards. I'm sorry about that. Shows how professional I am. Oh, this one too. I'm not going to redo that. Let's just leave that there in the edit. But, yeah, Takara did a great job. And I'm sure there's probably some mistakes on my figure, but yeah, it's just time-consuming and tiring to transform that guy. This guy did like in 2 minutes. But the end result is nice. I mean, the fact that it's so freaking complicated and that it looks this good is amazing to me. And in robot mode, it actually feels really good. Really good. The vehicle mode, I guess because everything's like expanded, you know, to make that shape of the vehicle, for some reason, it just feels a lot tighter and more condensed. I don't know. It's a feel thing. So I don't know if you guys all understand what I'm saying. But they did a good job. I'm happy. I'm not necessarily happy about the price. It's $450 in case you guys were wondering. Probably less from Japan, but after shipping, it's pretty much the same thing. But as you can see, they're pretty much the same height. This guy, chest-wise, is a little taller. You know, from the sides... you know, they go, whoa, there we go, scratching everything. This guy's legs bend backwards. I hate that. What's a video of mine without, you know what? Oh, and we're back. MP-10 was just not wanting to stand. So, yeah, it's still, like, come on, just stand. Anyway, bulkiness is still there. This one actually kind of doesn't taper off as nice as that one. Speaking of, you know, backpacks, we're going to show you some of the accessories. So I think as far as let's just bye-bye. Anyway, let's get back to this guy. It's not really a comparison video, but we're going to check out some of the accessories. Alright, so this is the accessories part of the video and also day 4 of filming. So we have the control tower here, which is outfitted with a special anti-aircraft gun. We have Roller here, which I already showed you. We do have the Starscream kind of shoulder, over the shoulder kind of things here. We also have a Starscream face. I'm going to show you that stuff. And the alternate heads, the round face also comes here. There's certain scenes where his face is round, and they also give you that. And then the damaged head with the damaged side plate here. And then you got these little booster weapon things. They can double as both, actually. They can be part of the blaster here, and they can also be part of the other, well, first of all, the Energon axe there, but the other part that I want to show you is the backpack. It's got the booster backpack on, and you can actually attach these things right in here, like so. Not sure if I really like the way this thing tabbed in. It kind of clips on the top. It's kind of hard to see, and it's kind of friction fit at the bottom. I just messed up his legs, which, by the way, it's got that crotch thrust, which I kind of like, that I noticed in the, the original cartoons. I was always like, oh, his legs are like crooked, and it's a good that Japanese crotch thrust thing going on, which is pretty cool. So I don't even know what to start with. Let's start with the Roller here. We can use this control tower, just bring it down like so. It's got these little weapons that come out. You can just use this little slider. I kind of wish they didn't do this little slider on the side, maybe underneath where it's not so visible, but you can see these things come out. Then we got Roller over here, which I thought would attach to this somehow by spinning this. I'm going to show you what that actually does. I did show you that this spins here. It's not for that. Then I thought that the exhaust pipes would slide right in because it's a perfect fit. Look at that. Perfect fit, but then the wheels are not touching the ground. So of course I pulled out the instructions. Turns out you got to flip out this little piece here, this little trailer hitch, and slide that right in. You can actually pull this separate vehicle piece along with it, and you can also do the trailer. So I got that off to the side right here. Just check that out by popping this off. And actually, wrong one. It's Roller here. And we're going to flip this around, put this up like that, and then it's just going to peg right in to the actual trailer. Now it's kind of neat the way the heads come off. You just slide it forward. It's not too hard to do, and you can replace it with the round face version. There we are, which I think looks kind of cool too. To put on the Starscream piece, you do have to open up the backpack and slide it onto a little thing on the backpack. It's not too terribly difficult to do, and then you can slide the head on. You can also recreate like him holding the Optimus Prime head above his head. I'm not going to do that, but you guys use your imagination. But I like the sculpt on this. As a matter of fact, I have Masterpiece Starscream here. Yeah, definitely much better. Here's my Masterpiece Starscream. That's a car version. Just looks a little serious, a little dusty too, but definitely love that sculpt right there. If you want to use the Energon axe, all you got to do is pop the hand off. Just be careful. Kind of splits right here, so you don't pull it off the rivet there. And then you just snap that on like that, which is pretty cool. Any blaster you can hold in his hand. His hand, by the way, the thumbs move, the index fingers, and the other three fingers do fold, but they're, you know, together. And then we'll just get the gun in there. Should hold pretty firmly. And voila. Now I know with MP-10 you can store the gun right here in the back. Unfortunately, this one you cannot store away completely, but there's this little butt piece here that lifts up, and then you can peg the gun there. Pretty much the same way you would in vehicle mode. It's got that little slider piece. You just slide it right in. Of course, you get the matrix of leadership. All you have to do is open up the two front windows, and then this little piece flips up like so. And it is a die-cast piece, which is nice. I've always liked that they've made it die-cast. It makes it a little more important and special. And just peg that in there. You can close that up, and then close up the chest. The one last thing I forgot to show you guys is this little damage piece. What you want to do is take off the head, look for the damaged head, pop that on. Once you have the damaged head on, all you do is take this, and you'll see there's a little slot right there. Literally just tabs on. I thought I had to replace it or something, but can be just tabbed on. So you got the damage there, you got a unhappy, ready to die Optimus Prime. I almost forgot to show you guys the sound. I have to edit this in here, but you have to pull this. I pretty much did it right there. There's a button right here. You gotta take the screw out here, put in 3 LR44s or an equivalent, and the button's right here. So I'll show you the different voices. We just heard a little bit of the Japanese. We'll continue on. Alright, so I guess it's repeating, and it should have the Peter Cullen. Alright, so apparently I have to hold the button down for 3 seconds to switch modes, so let's see how that works. Alright, so I made the transformation sound. So it's got a total of 50 different sounds, it says. It's just weird hearing him talk like that, but let's hold this down again. And Alright, so there's a lot of Japanese. I'm not gonna go through all of them. Let me just try and find Peter Cullen. Alright, definitely not that. There we go.
I am Optimus Prime. Autobots, transform and roll out. Transform and roll out. Autobots, transform and roll out.
Alright, you get the idea. But that's the sound chip. Again, 50 different sounds. Most of them in Japanese. Now, I don't think this review went into as much detail, as I would have wanted to. Number one, keep the time short on the video. Number two, there's already a ton of videos. I'm sure you guys have seen it all. But I did, what I could in these 4 days that it took to film this. I didn't go over articulation. There's a couple of things I probably missed during the transformation just to, keep the sequence going. But I think we do have to talk about the price. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. Let's take a look at how much this thing cost. $490 after taxes and shipping. That is not cheap at all. Okay? That's more than I paid for the Soul of Chogo King second production run, which is $324, and that's a hell of a lot. Or at least in my opinion. That's because I'm a Voltron fan. But I don't know what you guys think of this. It's very expensive. Is it worth it? I don't know. I think they should at least just make an MP-44 or something with just him. I mean, you don't need all this stuff. But I do have to say there's a lot of stuff, like I said, I missed out on in the review, which is the play value. If you guys are the type to play, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do with the trailer and stuff. I didn't go over it, but it seems like you can do all these configurations, like battle configurations, which, I'm not into that. I'm really just here for Optimus Prime. He just happens to come with a trailer, but very expensive. As a matter of fact, the budget for my vehicle Voltron is right here, so I'm going to have to recoup that, but I just wanted to, I'm a big fan of Optimus Prime. I got to get him. But, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your opinions if you own this. If you don't own it, I see a lot of people that don't own it, or they sound upset from what I read, and I don't blame them, because if you really want the newest Optimus Prime and it's way out of your reach, you kind of end up hating it because of the price. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to say it's not worth the price, especially here in the U.S., close to $500. But if you do want one, if you are a big Optimus Prime fan, maybe it is worth it to you. But I think for what you get, it's a lot of stuff most of us don't need or don't even display, so I think they could have made a cheaper version, or hopefully they will make a cheaper version. But primarily my tastes in collecting are more of the high-end die-cast, and I think this is expensive for what it is, just pure plastic. But again, it is the newest and most up-to-date Optimus Prime. You do have alternatives, by the way, which are the third parties, they look excellent. I don't know anything about them because I haven't been able to review them, but if you want to keep it with Takara, this is where you have to go and pay the price, unfortunately. So that's it. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.